everyone, welcome back. It's Charlotte from At Charlotte's House. Today I'm going to show you how in under 2 hours, in one afternoon, you can make these adorable cement planters. I am crazy about them. Stay tuned. Recently, I made a concrete fountain, and I love it. I used a concrete mold, I learned a little something about concrete, and I had an idea to do something similar to make a planter. Now, the concrete I used to make my fountain was too rocky, too chunky. I knew it wouldn't work for something like this. So I'm working with cement on this one, which means that there are no additives. There's no rocks, there's no pebbles, so it's super smooth. It also means that this dried in like an hour, so it was a perfect afternoon project. I have made concrete planters before. They are always really easy. I will link to some of the other ones that I have made in the video description. I grabbed some of these glasses at the thrift store, these vases, and these are about as common as you can find. They're usually like $1. I'm using a PVC pipe to make the hole in the center of my planter. So I'm cutting it a little bit longer than I need because I'm hoping I can remove it from the concrete, but I'm not sure. And if I can't remove it, then I'll just trim it with my Dremel sort of right up to the level of the concrete and I should be fine. I'm hoping that I can pull the pipes out. That's the only thing I'm not sure about, but it'll be concrete with a little reservoir in the middle for the plant. Should be simple. Before I can put my PVC pipe in, I'm putting a little tyvek tape on the bottom to obviously close it up. Tyvek tape is good for molds because things usually release from it. So I'm gonna go find that. It's not quite wide enough to cover the whole piece of pipe, so I'm doing 1/2 and then the other half. Just to be extra, I'm making little release cuts like this. I can wrap the tape sort of around the end. So what I'm doing is I am mixing cement. I'm gonna pour the cement into these two vases, and then I'm gonna put these guys in to create the sort of well where the plant will go. So let's mix some cement. I'm gonna add the water first. So for Cementol, you use 4 parts Cementol to 1 part water. And you're sort of going for a consistency of, I would say like pudding. And you mix it for about a minute just so you don't get any lumps. It doesn't take a lot of weight, but I'm gonna go get that set up. The directions say that this only takes like an hour to set. And I'm impatient, so I'm gonna try it. I mentioned before that the only way to release this is obviously to break the glass. I'm gonna put it into a paper bag and then I'm gonna tap it with the hammer and let's see. It's not great, but it's not awful. If I'm being honest, I don't think there's any chance that this will come out. But we'll see. I didn't put any lubricant or anything on it. I've decided that there's no reason to wrestle with this pipe. I'm just gonna use my Dremel to shear it off right against the side because the plant and the soil is gonna cover it up. This is totally not pretty, but it's totally gonna work. A couple things to note, I did not drill a hole in the bottom. I probably should have. Drainage is always a good idea when you are dealing with planters, but honestly, I was too impatient to get the plants in and see how these looked, so I didn't do it. But I might go back and do it later. There were definitely a couple things that I probably didn't do perfectly. I am using a PVC pipe in the middle of my planter, and I'm not sure what I was thinking. I was hoping that that pipe would slide right out, and I suspect that if I had greased it or used any sort of lubricant, maybe I could have done that. I did not. So rather than remove the PVC pipe because it was stuck, I had to trim it down to the surface of the concrete planter using my Dremel. No big deal. I was able to plant the plants right into the PVC pipe, but that was one thing that I wasn't sure about. The other thing I learned is that I removed the vase from the concrete after about an hour, which is when the concrete is technically set up. I found that the glass was a little bit sticky and it didn't come away from the cement nearly as easily as I had imagined. I'm wondering if that's because I was a little impatient and I didn't let the whole thing cool down before I started to remove it. Nevertheless, it totally worked. It just took a little bit more hammering. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click that little bell icon so you will get notified when I share videos like this in the future. Have a great day, everyone.